Hi, everyone, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, my name is Chanel, and for those of you who are returning, thank you for giving me the opportunity to read for all of you again. This reading is intended for the sign of Virgo, and we're taking a look at your love life from now up until the end of September. So, Virgo, I have shuffled the deck, I've pulled your cards, and you're starting your reading off with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. I'm seeing that there's something that you're trying to put a stop to in regards to your love life. This would be something that you've dealt with so many times that you're just sick of it, right? So if you have a partner, it could be that they have a specific behavior that you keep telling them you need fixed. It could be that you've been waiting a really long time to be in a relationship with a certain person and you're kind of like playing house. I feel like for the majority of you, this is someone you've been dealing with for quite some time, because you getting to the Eight of Wands in the reverse, it's like the honeymoon has ended, right? You're starting to feel some bitterness over situations that keep coming up, keep being the same. And you're building an empire for yourself at this time, is what I'm seeing. Now, that could be financial, or it could just be that you're really working hard on yourself. And it feels like whoever this is that's coming through in your reading is somehow working against you. I think they're very fearful of your success, or they fear like maybe they see you changing in some way, but it's for the better. Like, this is you glowing up. This is you being very selective about what you pay attention to, simply because you're very focused on what you're trying to create for yourself or perhaps for your children. For some of you, you're like trying to build generational wealth, right? And so you're being more selective about your friend group or what you pay attention to. Like, are you binging really depressing TV shows, or, are you learning every day something new? Like, this is go-getter energy. Like, this is you listening to the podcasts, reading the books, learning what you need to learn to really become the master in your field. And so I feel like for you, it's really disappointing because your partner or the person you're interested in is coming through as treating you like you're only doing the work for yourself. Like, well, you're so focused on your career, you're so focused on your diet, you don't stop to think about how that affects me, right? But what they don't realize is like everything that you're doing at this time is so that you really can build something beautiful in the future for you and them and your children, or, if you're going to have children. It's like you're looking at the long term, whereas the person that you're dealing with is coming through as somebody who is only looking at the now, and they're not really seeing the big picture, right? So it's almost like they're acting up, or they're trying to sabotage what you're building. They're not sharing your vision. They're not getting on your team. They're actually kind of working against you at this time. And so that's why I'm seeing this behavior that feels like it's kind of flaring up again. And for you, a lot of you, you could feel like this is the last straw because you've already spoken to this person about this multiple times. It's very possible that you are taking a break from this person, you're on a break from this person, or you could have had some kind of argument and now you're like in the aftermath of that. This person is coming through as somebody who is behaving in a way that you're viewing as being very selfish. And that's because they're not participating, right? If you're trying to build something for all of you, they're looking at it like you're trying to be the best you can be so you can be single and you can meet someone new. Like, this person has a lot of insecurities. And maybe in the past, you had a tendency to take this person back because they told you that they were working on themselves as well. But it feels like as soon as they get in your space, they start to get really upset if they're not like your main priority, which, you being a Virgo, you're looking at the big picture, right? So you picking up extra hours at work, that's like your love language. You are making this person a main priority because now you'll have extra money for XYZ, whereas they see it as like, oh, well, your job is more important than me. For you, it's like, okay, well, I could sit in your face, but what does that accomplish if we're broke and neither one of us are going anywhere? Like, somebody has to be doing something. It's because I love you that I'm motivated to have a better life for you and I. You get what I mean? Future energy has you Two of Swords reversed, your person, Knight of Swords reversed, and what's being created is the Lovers reversed. So as you're trying to build, I feel like you're kind of giving this person an ultimatum. Maybe you're not paying as much attention to them, or like I said, you've decided to take a break. It's so that you're kind of hoping that they could see the bigger picture as well, or see what you're trying to create. Unfortunately, with what I'm seeing here in this spread, rather than them understanding where you're coming from, they become very bitter. And it looks like they go out and do a lot of the things that are a deal breaker to you, a lot of the things that you find so frustrating. It's like, even if they could see what you're doing, they don't want to see it for some reason. This isn't somebody that it feels like you can really build with. And I'm not sure why that is. Okay, they could have commitment issues. This could be somebody who has a tendency to always feel like the grass is greener somewhere else. But this is definitely someone who has like an inferiority problem. Like, they feel like you're better than them. They feel like eventually, once you get where you're going, you're just going to leave them for someone else. And so they're not trying to help build you up. You get what I'm saying? This is kind of the energy of someone like sabotaging. So what I would say is pay attention to the times in your life when you've been feeling really good about yourself or really good about your accomplishment. How did this person behave? Like, did they all of a sudden pick a fight? Or did they not come home? Or did they avoid you for like an extended period of time and then try to make you feel bad? Because that's what this person does. That's kind of their MO, is doing things that makes you feel like you have to chase them, or you have to shift your focus from yourself or what you're creating to go after them and be like, you made me so mad, or why wouldn't you come to my ceremony where I was awarded this thing? I spent the whole night thinking about you and how much that hurt me instead of being able to enjoy my award. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is someone who they can't deal with you not making them a main priority, because to them, even though you're doing all these things because they're a priority, they don't see it that way, right? It's like, you love your job more than me. You love your career more than me. You love yourself more than me. So this is almost like the naughty child that does things to get any kind of attention. Like when they get a new sibling, maybe, you know how a kid might like pinch their new baby brother or whatever, right? So that you stop what you're doing and you're like, why would you do that? It's almost that energy of like, anytime that things are going really well for you, they're going to do something kind of catastrophic to knock you out of alignment with what you're doing. Because the bigger your reaction is, the more they see, okay, you do care about me, you do love me. I'm important enough for you to get angry, right? As far as your future energy with this person, you have the Lovers in the reverse and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So if this person has a tendency to go back to a specific person, like say they have an ex, they have a baby mom, or even just a way of life. This could be somebody who has a tendency to drink too much and make stupid choices, or exhibit really reckless behavior. Once you start really focusing or doing well, I feel like you're going to see that kind of energy from this person again, especially for those of you who have this person blocked or you're on a break. They're going to try to get you out of your vibe. Like, Lovers reverse, Queen of Cups reverse. This is almost the energy of having drunken one night stands, doing things to make you feel really depressed. So I'm really sorry to say that to you. But in all honesty, with the combination that I'm seeing here, this is someone who doesn't think before they do. They just react to like what they're feeling in that moment. And so it's almost like they're going to try to test how connected to them you are. Like, okay, if I do all this stuff that hurts Virgo's feelings, will they stop what they're doing and come back for me, right? Or will they move on? And if they move on, then I know that I wasn't that important. But the silly part is, I don't think this person would let you go even if you kept moving. So they're going to do stuff to push you away, to hurt your feelings, to punish you for not making them a priority. But then even if you were to try to remove them from your life, it looks like they would be a massive headache to you, because this person doesn't want to be without you regardless of what they're saying. For some of you, this is the kind of person that when you're finally ready to go, they start speaking on like self-harm or talking about how depressed they are or how they don't want to, participate in life anymore. It's that kind of energy, and it's really manipulative. I feel like there's someone in your family that may have gone through something similar with a partner. They could be at a distance from you. It could be somebody who is a Cancer or a Taurus. That person may have some really good advice for how to deal with the connection that you're in, because it seems like whoever that is was married for a long time to somebody who displayed these kinds of characteristics. And they have a lot of wisdom, but they also have like a lot of regret about not seeing things for what they were sooner. So perhaps speaking to somebody in your family group or your friend group who's been through what you're going through, because this is, it's very covert. People, I think, don't even know exactly what you're going through, right? This is kind of a behind the scenes thing. And I also want to say to you, for those of you who this is resonating with, you may be in the public eye. And so it's hard to have a partner like this, right? Or you feel like you're making excuses for them, or you might have like a big reputation. And so you don't want to have like problems with your significant other. They actually use that against you, right? They'll like act out in a way that's public enough that people will be looking at you crazy. You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's only going to escalate for those of you that are kind of in a public eye or have like your own business or a reputation to protect. So also be very mindful about that as well, because this is someone that I feel like in the future, if you were to distance yourself from this, they may try to sabotage what you're creating so that hopefully you will come back to them, right? Because now you don't have anything. They've left all these horrible Yelp reviews on your business or whatever, right? And so now what you want isn't even an option to you anymore. You know what I mean? Be very careful of this person, because I feel like the more distance you put between the two of you, the bigger their antics will get. And this is somebody who would actually sabotage what you're creating so that you don't have anything to put over them anymore, because that's how they view it. As far as your advice for this relationship, you got the Three of Swords. So it seems like you've tried this a few times. I think a lot of you are kind of worried about leaving this person to their own devices because you know that they're very reckless. But there's also an energy here of perhaps in the beginning it being very, very good. It's possible that something happened within this connection. Like when you were with them, maybe a parent passed away and then they started getting really weird or not handling their grief well. Like maybe something happened that changed the way this person started showing up, like kind of for life, but also for you. It could be that when you met this person, maybe you didn't have as much of a career at the time, or you weren't as goal oriented. And so you didn't get to see this side of this person, right? Because maybe you didn't have a lot going on when you first connected. But it seems like you keep trying to take this person back, either because they'll tell you that they're going to work on their problems, they're going to go to rehab, they don't know how to be without you. The spirit is saying that if you've given this multiple tries and you've seen the same thing over and over, it's time for you to see this for what it is, right? Because it looks like the universe is trying to bless you and you're showing up, right? Like you're doing the work. So when the opportunity arises, you're ready to grab it. You're showing up. Like the only thing I feel like that's really blocking your success is this particular situation. And I want you guys to know that with what I'm seeing here, there's certain blessings that you're eligible for that the universe wants to give to you that will not even come your way as long as this is in your life, simply because this person would put you in a situation where you would either squander the blessing or ruin it to the point that it can't be a part of your life anymore because you're trying to keep this person from like doing something crazy, right? So the advice is, if you've done this a few times, you need to see it for what it is. And it would be a really good time for you to weigh the pros and cons of this relationship, right? Take a step back and figure out, like, does this person add more value to my life? Do they subtract more from my life? I think if you are a very practical person, which is kind of what I'm seeing here, because you're looking at the long run while this person is living in the moment. If you made a list of pros and cons and just told yourself, like, whatever the outcome of this list is, this is what I'm going to do, I feel like you would find that this person is actually a liability to everything that you're building. So if that's what the outcome is of your list, you need to act accordingly and be protective of what you're creating for yourself, okay? Now, let me get you a love message. Reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. So it kind of feels like to me that you guys are this person's caregiver and that you have a really hard time leaving them to their own devices because you know that they're not well, right? It seems like they're not stable. And so that's why they kind of wreck everything you're building. Bottom of your deck, you got, it is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone instead of placing your focus on another. Now is the time to give to yourself, which is this hermit energy at the bottom of the deck. So this has been your reading. I hope it was able to provide you guys with clarity. Sorry if it wasn't the message that you were hoping for, but this is what came out, and I have to be honest with what I see. I will speak to all of you again soon, but in the meantime, take very good care of yourselves. Bye.